Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Training, Coaching, and Developing with Christy Clark. So today's topic I'm very excited to bring to you. It is about one of our 4 income-producing activities. So my entire training today is based on follow-up. So it is all from this book, How to Follow Up with Your Network Marketing Prospects, Turning Not Now into Right Now. And this was written by Keith and Tom Schreider. I actually personally know Tom. He is one of the most well-known and respected network marketing success stories that there is. So I actually bought this book in 2017. I read it a couple times since. Recently picked it up again since joining Paseo, and I had to do a training on it. So we know that follow-up is one of our 4 income-producing activities, along with prospecting or reaching out to new people. 2 is follow-up, 3 is customer service and maintaining relationships, and then 4 is personal development. So today, we are going to jump right in to the 2 types of prospects. So first, there are people who buy right away, and that's because there's perfect timing, right? Maybe the timing is just so good that the prospect has to make a decision right away. The second is going to be perfect rapport. We know our prospect, we have perfect rapport with them, and that makes it easy to make an instant decision with someone that you trust. People are going to buy from people that they trust, brands that they trust. But if they don't trust you, or don't believe you, then nothing's going to happen. Second, all right, there are prospects who just don't buy or join, and that's because of bad timing. Like our offer could be perfect, but the prospect's circumstances could be awful. Distractions, of course, bad sales presentation. This could be that our prospect needed our products, but our presentation was amateur and awful. And 4 is bad skills. So prospects can smell incompetency from a mile away. If we are unpracticed and unsure, then they're going to avoid doing business with us. So the best thing that we can do is to focus our attitude and our business on the controllable. We have to focus on what we can control so we can get those yes decisions. While we can't control the bad timing in a prospect's life, the distractions, at least we can control our presentation and our skills. So by having good rapport on the very first contact with our prospects, they're going to look forward to our second contact. And unless there is future communication, guys, all hope is gone. All right, so I just want to stress this, that 48% of contacts are never followed up with. Here is what is going to make all the difference, okay? Prospects don't understand everything about our business, and they won't understand any business fully until they've experienced this business for a while. So here's the deal. Prospects are desperate to change their lives. They're really looking for a trusted path and a trusted guide for their future success. So they want to know if 1, you know where you're going, 2, you know how to get there, 3, that you have the skills to teach them how to get there too. So focus on the real issue, build the trust and the rapport, and then show them your skills will get them to their desired success, whether it is a health perspective or it's a wealth perspective. So let's assume for now, okay, that our sales presentation and our skills are adequate, okay? If they're not, you're going to have to be honest with yourself about that. Some of you are watching this because you just joined the company and you want to get a very firm grasp and get all the coaching and the training and developing that you can. So if you're still in the learning phase, and honestly wouldn't feel comfortable sitting down with a prospect to go sit down, have coffee and go over the plan, then you're going to need to just continue to still use the Connect Call system. That is going to allow you to learn while you're earning money, which is going to keep you motivated and learning. Capiche? So now what, right? So that leaves timing as the main issue at hand. So I want to look at the 3 effects of follow-up, okay? Number 1 is repetition. Number 2 is sorting. And number 3 is what is called the moving parade. So let's go over them. So 1, repetition, okay? I want you to think about a billboard. All right, so like, let's say, I love Mexican food. So let's say that a new local Mexican restaurant opens up and a billboard goes up by your house. So the first time you see it, you're on your way to work, you're like, man, it's 8 a.m., can't go it then, right? Then the next time you drive past the billboard, you're like out running errands and on a time crunch, can't go into the restaurant then. But then your friend says that they want to like get a meal together, you want a date night or something like that, and you're driving by on the way home and you see the billboard, suggest the restaurant, go in, you know, have a great experience, you're a regular there. Okay, so multiple exposures are going to guarantee that when the timing is right for our prospects, that we are right there, right in front of them. So something else. Billboards don't have feelings. So we need this type of attitude when we're following up with our prospects. Our prospects forget about us, right? And our follow-up reminds them about our products, our offer, who knows? You know, maybe today will be the day for them to take advantage of what we have. Follow-up means that we can serve that prospect when they are ready. And that could mean a lifetime of repeat business, right? So that's the billboard effect, getting in front of them as much as possible and being there when the timing is right. Okay, so the mall sorting effect. I like this one. So, you know, like we're prospects ourselves, okay? And we sort ourselves by ignoring all the offers that we don't need, right? We're marketed to all day, every day. So thousands of people go to the mall every week, okay? And so some people will go like directly into the store and leave. Some people go into a few stores, notice some others during their like visit, maybe go in a few, like that's what I do. And then 3, some people are like professional window shoppers. They like basically go in every store to check out the sales and that sort of thing. So I want you to think about your follow-up like you own a store in the mall, okay? Your follow-up means that you are visible to every person that like walks by your store every day. And if you're not there, then your prospect is basically going to forget about you. Okay. So it's just kind of thinking about yourself as a store at the mall, right? Like, what about rejection? Okay. Here's a big thing. You know, like as a store owner, you don't even notice the majority of the people that are walking by in the mall who go, you know, they don't even glance in your store's direction. There isn't any rejection there, right? It's just sorting, right? It's business as usual. So your job is to be in front of the prospect when the prospect's timing is right. That's it. Okay. So again, you know, like the store doesn't have feelings about every single person walking by. It's just you are there at the right time in the right place. So, so let's talk about the moving parade. This is an interesting kind of thought, okay, to an effective follow-up, right? So let's say that you have like a grand stand at a parade, okay? And the only prospects that would be qualified for our opportunity are those that are marching right in front of our stand. So that means that the same people who were unqualified before they got to the stand became qualified as they walked by and then became unqualified again. They're only qualified when they're right in front of you. So this kind of takes the sting and the hurt away from the rejection because you understand that timing could be this huge difference. right? Like fear of rejection is what makes follow-up a problem. And rejection usually doesn't have anything to do with us personally. So it's really, I mean, it is usually not about the opportunity. It is not about the product. Rejection is usually only about the timing. And I mean, the thing is, most prospects are ideal for network marketing, honestly. I mean, provided that we present it to them when the conditions are best for them, not for us, right? Like our prospects are not ready to join our company 365 days a year, right? Like think about yourself, okay? When you first joined Viseo, the conditions were right for you. Some of you got in, you knew that the timing wasn't exactly right, but you got in, you got your spot, you got on the products, the timing was right, and that might be why you're here now, right? So I just want you to understand that your 10 best friends and family members all rejected the timing, okay? Not the opportunity, not you personally. I mean, several times a year, a person can turn from qualified to unqualified, back to qualified again. It's only a matter of timing, not personal rejection. I mean, like, think about it. Like someone could have woken up to some like rude text message from somebody and got ready and then burned themselves on the pan and are having this horrible morning. If you send them a text message during that time, they're probably going to ignore it. But let's say they get to work, they get called into their boss's office and told that they're going to get a $5 an hour raise. Man, you know, like you text them during that time, they're probably be like, not really favorable. Right? Because they're making now $5 more at their job. They're happy. But then they leave and let's say that they get a call from their spouse and their spouse lost their job. Well, oh, hot diggity. It might now be good timing because their spouse needs a job. Like, do you see what I mean? That different times and throughout the day, people become qualified and unqualified. That's why I really like this like moving parade idea and the sorting and the billboard repetition. So it's not a matter of personal rejection. So just take a deep breath, okay? Okay, so what is follow-up really? So if timing's really the issue in our prospect's life, then follow-up's really just about being in the right place at the right time. So this is a good reason to keep the relationship open and warm. So when the timing is right for the prospect, you want the prospect to think of you and think about you fondly, okay? It is going to help them move closer to a decision. So one reason for each contact with our prospect is to help them feel better about us and learn more about our products, the business, what we offer, really. So the bottom line is that you want to move towards a yes or no decision with every contact. So if we concentrate on providing more information and benefits to move our prospect forward, we're gonna eliminate that sort of like idle chit chat that's kind of just like time waster that annoys prospects. Honestly, you don't wanna be that idle chit chatter. Oh, how's it going? How was your weekend? Oh, I know the weather's great. So idle chit chat, okay? Instead, you want to call your prospect and have a conversation that says, hey, or something like, hey, I know you pay taxes on your income. Did you know that having an extra part-time business can give you the same tax deductions that your big business could? Or maybe you say, you had mentioned earlier that you had some interest in our sleep product. I just found out a couple of new things about it. Can I share those with you? Maybe you could say, hey, when we met, you told me that you love to travel and the company just announced this Hawaii incentive trip that you can qualify for free. Do you want to go to Hawaii with me? So like I put on the screen, the 2 goals of follow-up, okay, is to create rapport and build a relationship. and moving the prospect towards a yes or no decision. Those are the two goals. So don't freak out about follow-up, okay? That's just your goal. Create rapport, build a relationship, help figure out whether they are going to be a yes or a no. That's the name of the game, is sorting, okay? We're sorting people into 3 buckets. One is the, yes, I'm interested in your products. They're going to be loyal customers, walking billboards for you. 2 are the people that see the opportunity in the business and they join you either right away for the business, or they're customers that build into being business builders. Or 3, people who are a hard no, it's not for them. They'll probably give you referrals. That's all you want to do. So that's what rapport. Build a relationship, find a bucket to sort them into. Okay, I like this. Creating your movie. Okay, so sometimes it's hard to find out exactly what a prospect is looking for. Okay, so if we don't know exactly what they're looking for in an opportunity, then how are we supposed to serve them, right? We don't want to waste their time by presenting unnecessary information that, I mean, honestly, really isn't relevant to their decision. But the problem is that prospects rarely open up to us, right? There's an initial level of distrust, right, in our first conversations. And so they hold back from disclosing their real wants and feelings, which is totally understandable. You know, like, we have to think about it, like, we are also prospects for different things. So this method of creating your movie is going to really help your prospect talk about what their needs, wants, ambitions, what's important to them. It's easy. All right. So your conversation with the prospect is gonna kind of look like this. So, you know, it's easier to find exactly what you want when you know exactly what it looks like. So imagine you're a big time Hollywood TV producer and you have the power to create any, or movie, right? A big producer, and you have the power to create any sort of movie that you want. If you created the movie of your dreams for your perfect opportunity, what would that look like to you? What do you see? So what you're gonna do, right? You're basically just saying, if you were a movie producer and you created a movie about the perfect opportunity, what would it look like? And so make some mental notes about a couple key points in your story. Okay, in their story, I guess. So it'd be like, what was the cost to join? What did the prospect have to do? How many steps did they have to take? What did the bonus checks look like? What did the activities, that they'd have to do? Were they fun? And then ask the prospect, how soon would you like that perfect opportunity to start happening in your life? There's a catch, right? So we all know, right? Our prospect just described this perfect opportunity. And it's probably likely that this perfect opportunity doesn't come even close to our opportunity. Okay, for most of the time, there is no opportunity that could even come close. Okay, like, I've had someone say, oh, the perfect opportunity looks for me that I basically put out stuff, I pay somebody else to put out content for me, and I get all the income. I'm like, really? I don't know what opportunity even exists for that. Okay. But what you're going to say is, wow, that would be awesome. A perfect opportunity in a perfect world. And, I guess you and I know that nothing in life is perfect, but we can dream. And, the most important thing we can do in business is to get into business. And while no opportunity is perfect, we can start building the business of our dreams as close as possible, because it is your business and you're the boss. So the difference is this: dreamers just dream. Successful business people describe their dream and then they get to work on making that happen. So when the time is right for you, Let's work together on making this business as close to your dreams as possible. So notice in what I said, okay, you didn't try and push for a close in that statement. You didn't lose rapport with the prospect, okay? Instead, you accomplished these 4 things, all right? You found out what the prospect is thinking, all right? Really the criteria that they're going to use to make a decision to go forward. You also politely let the prospect know that nothing is perfect. But also not all of the planets have to be, in alignment before you can take the first step forward. You mentioned that you would be there to help, look at this hair. You would be there to help work together to make the prospect's dreams a reality. And lastly, you allowed them some breathing room by saying, when the time is right for you. I hope you're taking notes right now. That when the time is right for you needs to be highlighted, starred. Those are great talking points, specific things that you can say, right? You allow them to feel in control of when they want to get started. And of course, the obvious time, right, is to get into this is immediately, okay? But you didn't have to say that. And communication is key. So your chances are going to improve when your prospect opens up and tells you what they're really thinking, right? Okay. Okay, when they say no, no means no, guys. That's why the prospect chose that word. So they could be saying no to us, right? They don't want to do business with us. We're not a good match for them. They want to do business with somebody else. Maybe we offended them, right? In that case, follow-up might be rude, okay? 2, they could be saying no to our opportunity or product. They just aren't interested in what we have to offer, okay? It's going to happen. Like I said, we're looking to sort people into 3 buckets. Not everyone is going to say yes. So 3 is how. They said no to how we described our offer. Think about it. Most prospects would love our products, our positive community, our system, more money. However, they might not like how we described the company, products, opportunity. So simply changing a few words can make all the difference in the results we experience. Okay, so understand that words like auto ship are going to turn people to run for the hills. Okay, I choose to say subscription instead. MLM, right? Is this an MLM? People don't like that. That's just the reality of it. I use the word direct sales or network marketing instead. If you start talking to, I'm going to have my upline call you, people don't like that either, right? Call your upline your partners, right? So anyways, okay, so going on that, okay, here's this funny thing, right? So imagine you're on a date and you say, when I look in your eyes, time stands still. Or you could also say, your face could stop a clock. I mean, both sentences describe the same thing, right? Kind of like what I just did, but one gets a way more favorable reaction than the other. So I want you to stop and ask yourself, okay, can I reposition my offer? How can I change how I describe my offer? Can I use different words? Okay, for example, you could say, our nutraceuticals will help you get fit. The prospect thinks maybe that fit involves exercise and is immediately turned off and turns down your offer. You could say our nutraceuticals turn your body into a fat burning machine. And now the prospect is excited because they can visualize their body turning into this fat burning machine. join now and you could qualify for the free cruise of a lifetime to the Bahamas. But we didn't know that the prospect gets seasick. So instead, which totally happened to me, so we could get a much better response by saying, if you join now, we can work together to start earning those part-time checks so you can take your family on that vacation you guys have been dreaming of. Right? So no means no, okay? When they say like no, 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 okay, let's stay in touch, right? I know there's something we can do together in the future. Let's stay in touch. I know there's something we can do together in the future. Okay, I need to think it over. This is literally the most feared objection for network marketers at the end of their presentation. So instead of thinking about your own agenda and yourself, let's first think about our prospects, right? They're thinking, I hate to make a decision, right? They're saying that because they don't want to feel bad if their decision doesn't work out, okay? Also, humans hate change, right? We like what is comfortable to us. We also get trained by our 9-to-5 jobs and being an employee that making decisions and having independent thoughts can sometimes get us fired. So how your prospects like to stay safe is by not making a decision, right? Because decisions could mean bad things to your prospect. They try to avoid it by saying, I need to think it over. But here's the thing. Not making a decision is a decision, guys. So when we don't make a decision to change, we're actually making a decision to stay with our current circumstances. So the bottom line is that everyone makes a decision every time. Either we make a decision to change or we make a decision to stay where we are, right? So when your prospect is saying, I need to think it over, what do we do next? So we're going to remind them that thinking it over is actually a decision to not take our offer, a decision not to change, and to keep their present circumstances. So we simply say this: it's okay to make a decision to not join now and continue to work that job that you have no passion for. But it's also okay to make a decision now and to start the countdown to an instant pay raise or, an instant residual, like whatever, okay? So now the prospect has to make a decision, right? They think, oh, wow, I do have to make a decision. I can't pretend to put it off. Now I have to make a choice, right? So making decisions, okay? So whatever the decision the prospect makes, we have to be okay with that choice, right? Understand that it's not your life. It is the prospect's life. And all we do is offer an option for change, right? We're giving them a choice, and that's it. That's it. We're giving an option. So we shouldn't feel bad if the prospect's best option for their life is not to change. So how do you respond, right? Like I just said this a second ago, okay, right? So the first sentence is going to say, it's okay to make a decision to not join now. And then you're going to insert the consequences of not changing, right? Because you figured out what the problem is, right? Like we're in the business, I'm going to talk about this in a second. We're in the business of solving problems. Okay, so you're going to figure out the consequences of not changing. And the second, it's also okay to make a decision now and insert what their why is, basically. Okay, so the key to these sentences is being a good listener. Okay, and listening for cues from them. All right, so listening and solving. right? So the purpose of business altogether, not just our business, but every other business, right, is to solve a problem. So if our prospects don't have any problems, then we don't have a business, all right? So when we follow up, all we have to do is really figure out which problem bothers them, right? Whether it's a health issue, a wealth issue, or both. If our opportunity or our products can help them solve their problem, then they're going to say yes. Okay. And obviously if it's the right timing. So the first thing that we're going to do is find their problem, then solve it. Then check out the hook while the DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby. Sorry, just had to be on that little thing there. So find their problem and then you're going to solve it. All right. So here's honestly where it goes all wrong. We try and solve their problem before we know what their problem is. So again, we try and solve their problem before we know what it is. So if we're giving our presentation, we're providing a solution. So giving the presentation is secondary. The first thing we have to do is listen to find their problem. And that can only be accomplished by listening. The correct order is first listen to solve or find a solution, okay? So let's see how, I'm gonna read you a little conversation and I want you to see how the clues appear in it, okay? So your prospect responds to your follow-up call by saying, I still need to think things over. I just don't have any free time. My daughter takes up so much of my time with her school activities and after school activities. So when we hear this conversation at a surface level, it sounds like the prospect just doesn't have any time, right? But if we listen a little deeper, what is the clue that the prospect's trying to give us, right? They're trying to tell us, she's trying to tell us that her daughter is really important to her and deserves all of her time. She enjoys to spend the time that she gets to spend with her daughter. So with this more deeper understanding, okay, the conversation can continue. So we can move them closer to making a decision to join us by saying, how would it feel for you to? Right? So how would it feel for you to have a full-time income in this business so you could attend every school activity, every after-school activity, and spend as much time with your daughter as you would like? Now we're really talking about the issues that the prospect is experiencing in her mind. So this deeper listening and communication creates this rapport and this trust and allows us to serve our prospects better. So how would you feel too, right? So here's another example, okay? I almost knocked over my light. So here's another example. I don't know anyone. I've never been in business for myself before. I just don't think this is gonna work for me. This scared employee wants the benefits of a part-time business, but is telling us they just don't have the confidence and they can't do it alone, which is super understandable, right? So you might say, how would it feel for you to have a full-time mentor and partner, someone working with you side by side until you're earning this $1,000 extra a month, right? So that's, how would it feel for you to have an extra $500 a month, right? How would it, and you're really just listening to, right, what the problem is that they're looking to solve in a deeper way. So what if the prospect is just silent, right? Like what would you say next? So I put some up on the screen, some opening sentence examples for you. So, like, help me understand how a part-time income would change your life. If you had an extra $500 a month, what would you spend it on, right? If you were to go on a vacation anywhere, right, where's the first place you would go? What's the most important reason that you want to lose weight? Okay, so those, when they just go silent, okay, you want to use open-ended questions and statements, not ones that can be answered by like one-word answers. Okay, so procrastinating, let's just be honest. Okay, so I want you guys to be incompetent at procrastinating. So you can do that by using mini habits. They literally destroy procrastination and fear in its path. Okay, so first what you're going to do is you're going to set the minimum effort that it takes to do a task. So in this case, let's say you're putting off making a follow-up call. Okay, so you would set, maybe you have a bunch of follow-up calls to do. Okay, so you'd set the minimum task of being one phone, like follow-up phone call. That's it. That's the entire task. That's all you do. So here's the choice in your mind. Either one, make the call, or two, stress and worry and like just all the stuff in the back of your mind, and it just stays there all evening. What are you going to do? You're going to do the one little task, the one little follow-up call for the day, and that's it. So what matters is that you've made one little phone call. Okay. Here's the secret though. Once you sit down and you make that first call, it's easy to make another call, because as long as you have your list in front of you. Okay. And then the momentum literally just builds. So, I mean, some days, okay, you are going to make one follow-up call and you're going to quit, right, for the day. And that's it. That's all you can do. But other days, the momentum from that first call is going to carry into like hours of follow-up calls and conversations on your prospect list. So just make it easier on yourself, okay? Do the one mini habit that you create for whatever it is that you're procrastinating on. So fear of the phone is real, okay? Like, listen, I mean, maybe the phone won't bite, okay? But the potential rejection that we could get from a follow-up call is enough to paralyze some of us, okay? And so we react to this fear with a bunch of excuses, like, oh man, it's too early to call, it's too late to call, they're in the middle of dinner, oh, it's Sunday, like they had a long day at work. Excuses. It is just excuses. We don't want to feel bad. We want to avoid rejection. That's it. Okay, so let's talk about rejection. Oh, okay. So here is literally how you can guarantee being rejected. I mean, total guarantee. Okay. You can guarantee being rejected by making it all about you. Literally. You end up asking direct questions that focus your prospect into force your prospect into a corner. Okay. And using these high pressure, man, I was just talking to a prospect last night, using these high pressure, not prospect, I'm sorry, new partner. Talking to a new partner last night. And these high pressure sales techniques from these like door-to-door salesmen from the 60s, like have no place in today's world. And this is a common reason why people say, I don't want to sell, I'm not a salesperson. It's because in their mind, being a salesperson is being a pushy weirdo, right? None of you are going to be pushy weirdos. If you come from that direct sales background where you have some of those pushy sales techniques, you're going to have to let that go, right? A lot of salespeople who come into network marketing and direct sales literally have to unlearn a lot of the sales skills that they've learned previously to be successful in this business. So how do you avoid rejection? Okay. You avoid rejection by one, giving value. Okay. When you give value, your prospect is literally looking forward to your call. Okay, like, hey, I just got some free tickets to this year's Natural Food Festival. Would it be okay if I mailed a couple of them to you? That's valuable. You mentioned that, saving time is really important to you and your family. And I just found out that the top tax accountant in the state is coming to give a free seminar. You had to leave early from the event to pick up your daughter from school. I know you're busy, so I just wanted to see if you would like me to send you a sample of the CBD oil or cream. So are you closing your prospect on that phone call? Like, no, you're creating rapport, okay? And you're keeping those lines of communication open. So sometimes it takes a while for the prospect to feel comfortable with you, okay? Each impression moves you forward and the prospect forward to a better relationship and towards your opportunity, okay, and your products. So technique 2 is to give them an update and ask a favor. So one of the best ways to like win another person over is to ask them for a favor, not like a huge one, not like, hey, can you pick me up at 4:00 in the morning from the airport? Like, that's not what I'm talking about. Hey, can you help me move next weekend? Like, we're not talking about that. Okay. Hi, John, Christy here. I know the timing wasn't right the last time we talked about my business, but, could you do me a favor? Our company just introduced this intro bonus. So a partner, like a double intro bonus. So a partner can make up to $800 from just bringing 2 people into the business. Do you know anybody that needs at least $800? Boom. Okay. So technique number 3 for making sure that you avoid rejection is to agree with them and then ask for a referral. All right. So part 1 is like, it's okay not to act now, right? We talked about that just a couple of slides ago. Okay. It's okay not to act now. Then part 2 is to ask for a referral. So it could look like this, it's okay that, it's not the right time for you right now, but can you let me know if someone in your life talks to you about a lack of sleep? So the upside of rejection is free follow-up. Okay, you followed up with your prospects, you didn't high pressure sales them or make them want to avoid like your future calls, right? In fact, they really enjoy talking to you and look forward to your calls in the future, right? So relax, guys, okay? It is not about you. Oh man, my computer is going to lose power. Okay, hang on just a second. Okay, so sorry. I can't believe I just had to do that in my training. I'm so sorry. I know it was probably like 15 seconds, but okay, anyway, so back on track. Okay, so relax, guys. Okay, it is not about you. You worry if the prospect will like you or if the prospect says no. Like, listen, you are literally completely focused on your own feelings. I want you to take a step back and think about your prospect, right? So it's easy to get rid of these fears by simply focusing all of your mental energy on serving your prospects. There's a saying that we like in our company: we are serving, not selling. So when you come from a place using your servant heart and you're not just focused on you, then it makes the whole process much, much simpler. So, maybe it will help you, because there's a lot of words on the screen, to maybe like take a picture of this right now. But here are some mental exercises that I want you to do before you follow. Oh, look, Daniel Piku's calling me right now. I want to answer, Daniel. I want to. So here's some things you can say before to yourself in your mind before you follow up with prospects. Okay. You know, I want to answer my prospects' questions. I want to help my prospects change their life. I want to help my prospect feel confident about trying a new business. I want to give them confidence that I'm here to help them get started. I know my prospect wants change in his life. Let me share my opportunity so that he has options. I want them to know I care enough about them to follow up. I want them to know that somebody cares. My obligation is to let my prospect know about my opportunity. The rest is up to the prospect, all right? So that, as you can see, totally changes the perspective. You know, because like instead of like chanting affirmations, staring at your vision board, thinking about all the stuff that you want, simply make the whole conversation about the prospect. So by removing yourself from your thoughts and placing your thoughts on the prospect, fear and procrastination naturally go away. Right? So let's, okay, so here are some easy words to reinforce this, okay, to your prospect that you can actually say to them, right? So this may or may not be for you. Timing is personal, and I would take a picture of this too. Timing is personal. It's up to you to decide when you want to move forward. Here's what we do. See if it is a fit for you. What would you like to know next? What would you like to know first? Would you like to hear how others have handled that problem? We either make a decision to move forward or we make a decision to stay where we are. So only you know what is right for you. Be the expert. By becoming the expert in our business, we're going to feel more confident when we know more than our prospects. So like guys, keep in mind, okay, that you are the expert. They haven't been to our online training. They haven't been to company events, and they certainly don't know as much about our products, our comp plan as you do, right? You know more than them. So carry that confidence with you when you talk to your prospects, okay? Want to be more confident? It's really easy, okay? Learn more of your skills by having, or perfect your skills, learn more about the company, the comp plan, the CBD industry, the medical technology we use, okay? Do that through connect calls. I know a lot of you want this, you know, want the ability to sit down, go to coffee, whatever it is. Understand in the beginning, you're not going to give your prospect the best version of you and your business because you're learning. And that's why our connect call system is set up so perfectly for success. So, okay, let's go on to the next one. Oh, be the expert, right? You already are in there, guys. Okay, let's talk about posture, all right? So closing takes on a new meaning in network marketing, okay? This is not a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am business, all right? This is not a one-time sale. This is likely going to be a relationship that lasts a lifetime, okay? So these like quick, high pressure sales techniques just aren't appropriate. They just aren't. So how do you improve your posture with your prospects? All right. So relationships take time. Okay. Like I said, network marketing is not, it's not supposed to be. Okay. Now listen, not every network marketing company is perfect. I have seen some horrific ones. I've had some horrific ones try and prospect me. I'm like, with their horrible tactics and these, okay? But the thing is that your prospects are going to sense poor posture, okay? And they will lose confidence in us. So, like I talked about at the very beginning, they're looking for someone to follow, someone who knows what they're doing and who have the skills to get them there too. So the truth of the matter is that prospects don't like where they're at. That's why they're interested in our products or our opportunity. So how do you get better at posture? By finding more prospects, guys, right? This is literally the simplest and surest way to get better posture, right? Do you think that I had this level of posture when I first started network marketing roughly 10 years ago? Absolutely not. Even with this company, when I very first started it, even with my 7 years of prior, or I guess 9 years of prior experience, right? No, because I was still learning, all right? And this is going to come in a different training. So just, check out the channel for more. But if you feel shy or a bit intimidated by your prospects, you need to get more prospects to contact, okay? We have a tendency to kind of like put ourselves as the center of the universe, I like to say, okay? So your prospect admits that they forgot all the important stuff you told them, all right? They didn't click on the link to your website. They didn't look at any of the info you sent. You never got an update in the app that they looked at the video, okay? The first rule of rapport is to let that go. Let it slide. What you're gonna say is, I understand, right? People like people who agree with them. Disagreement is going to close minds. So the agreement by saying, I understand, tells them that you're on their side and that you respect their views. So what do you say next? Same things from previous sides, like, what would you like to know first? That is when they are going to, that's when they're going to really reveal if they're truly interested or if now is just like not their time to join. So the prospect is going to give you a stop sign or a buy sign. Okay. So a stop sign statement is, I'm not interested. I don't have time. Please stop calling me. No, thank you. Sounds like pretty like stop signs, right, guys? So if today's not your prospect's day, don't close the door completely. Don't let your ego say, well, wow, they just don't think it's very good. Like, okay. Maybe in a month or several months, things could change. You literally just don't know. Okay. Even like I said, for some of you, you might have come in, got your spot, timing wasn't right, used the products, timing was right. Now you're here. Okay. Same thing. So you're going to say, I understand, that's no problem. Timing is the most important thing. So would it be okay if I kept in touch from time to time? Find out how you're doing and, let you know how we're doing. Sounds simple enough, right? Okay, so prospects want to buy. They don't want to be sold, okay? So what you're gonna do is when people tell you no, they give you a stop sign, okay? You're gonna take their contact information and you're gonna put it into a spiral bound notebook that is titled on the front, no for now, okay? And you're gonna have one for every year you're in business. I mean, you could even like put a positive spin on it and put like yes for later or something like that. But the truth is that you have to be able to differentiate between a stop sign for now and like a go or buy sign, okay? So, like you start the conversation with, what would you like to know first, right? Which is what we just talked about. So some buy signs are, do people really want these products? Can you tell me again about how the pay plan works? So like how many hours do you think that it's going to take to make this work? I just don't know a lot of people. Do I have to know a lot of people? Like, I'm not a salesperson. Like, do you have to be a salesperson for this? How soon do you think I can make an extra $300 a month? Is there training? Whatever it is, okay? Now your prospect is looking for reasons to join, not reasons not to. So the worst thing we can do at this point, honestly, is to do all the talking. And it happens all the time. They want to buy, they don't want to be sold, period. So what if you don't know the answer to the question that they're asking, right? This actually works in your favor, because now you get to say, you know, that's a great question. And it's a great question to ask when you attend your first company training. We have them every Tuesday night with Christy or the U Crew. Okay, so this is going to help them understand that you don't have to be an expert to be successful. This is a huge thing, saying, you know, that would be a great question to ask at your first training. We have them every Tuesday night online. And let them come. Guys, like, I'm totally okay with you sending prospects who have had a connect call, or, you know, you sat down for coffee and they want to know about our training and kind of like see our community. I'm totally okay with that. Just like, you know, give me a heads up or whatever. Oh yeah. Okay. So right. Like I said, it's a great question to ask when you attend your first company training. Okay. I love this automatic follow-up. Okay. How's it work? It is consistently reminding the prospect of the offer that you made. Every day or every week, they remember your offer. So when it is their time to take advantage of what you have, they're going to remember you. So automatic follow-up means no more phone calls, no more voicemails, no chance of rejection. Okay, your follow-up time is literally reduced to 0, so you can invest that time into prospecting. Sounds awesome, right? Like, yeah, like, yes, please. So how do you do that? Word pictures, word pictures. All right, it's gonna take some practice, but it is well worth the effort, well worth it. So a word picture is using words in a way to create a story. So your prospect sees that story in their mind. So I'm going to read you a little example here. So at the end of your Connect call or View of SEO event, you know, he says, I need to think it over. I have to talk it over with my dog, Turtle, and my lawyer. I'll get back to you in a couple months. Okay. So you say to your prospect, you know, hey, I'm glad that you want to think it over. Could you do me a favor? Tomorrow morning, when you wake up to go to work, when you get in your car at 7 a.m., pull your keys out of your pocket. And just before you put them in the ignition, do me a favor. Ask yourself this question. Do I really want to be getting up and leaving my family at 6 a.m. and commuting all the way to work and fighting all this traffic? And is this the car of my dreams? That's all. Could you just do yourself that? Prospect says, no problem. Then what? What happens the next morning? Your prospect gets up and that time delayed effect of word pictures kicks in. They go out to their car, pull out their keys, put it in the ignition, and what is he going to think? So here's the magic. That next morning after that, it's going to go through his mind again and again and again. So, you know, like, here's another one. Can you do me a favor? Next time you get your paycheck, can you do this? Like, when you rip it open, and you know, rip open the envelope and you pull out your paycheck, you know, I want you to like hold it up to the light, just kind of like rub it between your fingers and ask yourself this question: is that all that I am worth? Well, what's going to happen when they get their paycheck and they open it up and they look at it? Your words, your voice is going to come into their head and they're going to think, is this all that I'm worth? Okay. Okay, so here is some rejection-free follow-up methods, okay? I mean, honestly, it's really easy to find reasons not to follow up. So we're going to start with the easiest and safest way to follow up with prospects, and that's by email. Okay. I am 100% going to recommend that you use phone calls. Phone calls are what builds rapport, period. You're not going to get the same rapport in a text message or an email or anything else I'm going to talk about today. Okay. Phone call and in person is the best way to build rapport. Okay. So let's talk about email. Okay. This is a very low touch follow-up technique. I mean, it is rejection free. It is very safe for shy people. Okay. But I first want to remind you of the downside of email. Okay. Many people don't open your email. I mean, the open rates for most emails are typically so low, like ridiculously low, okay? Or even worse, it goes into their spam folder and they never see it and just auto-delete everything in their spam, right? Or they see it months later when they've already bought CBD or sleep products or whatever from somebody else, okay? Not knowing yours or remembering yours existed because of that billboard effect, right? So why would your uninterested prospect want to open your email? Okay. The secret is providing value. We already talked about providing value earlier. So what kind of value can you include in each email? So you can include an article for a solution to your prospect's problem. You can link to like important information that you want your prospects to know. You could link to a testimonial from a customer who uses your products or has had success with the opportunity, real stories about real people are always interesting. It could also be like a very simple resource that would just enhance your prospect's life. It doesn't have to be associated with our products or opportunity. It's just something that's helpful. Even like an appropriate joke to send them, right? Like everyone likes to laugh, or a funny meme or something like that. Okay. Even like, an announcement about a price decrease or some incentive or whatever it is. Okay. Maybe it's a limited supply. I don't know. Upcoming price changes. I mean, there's all kinds of different things, right? Free trials. Something else, okay, is to come up with a once a month short newsletter with some updates on your life, right? And this would be sent out to your friends, family, even cold prospects, okay? We know people love taking a little peek inside another person's life. That's why we like social media so much. Right? We like to see what other people are doing. So in this short monthly newsletter, okay, it's going to talk about yourself, personal experiences during that month. You could, talk about a job change, relationship, maybe purchase a new car, update on your kids or your cat or dog or whatever. But somewhere in the newsletter, you're going to mention network marketing. Okay, your business. You could tell the story about a customer who called you with a great testimonial, or you could tell them that you just won a free cruise. You could describe a conversation that you had with someone who thanked you for introducing them this one of the products or something. Because the thing is that we know that prospects are looking for a change in their life. They're desperate for someone to follow. They want someone to follow who knows where they're going and who knows how to get there, right? I think I've sent this 3 times now during this. So make sure that you're training your prospects to open your email by avoiding direct sales pitches, all right? You want them to be unique, your emails, and honestly, the best way to avoid being seen as junk email is to not look like junk email. Okay, so you know, like I kind of mentioned social media a little bit. I mean, we have to get our follow-up noticed. Okay. So if our competition is flooding social media, right? What can we do that's different? And you know, like it's so funny because people talk about like, what's your competition in this business? I'm like, ooh, we don't really have anybody as competition. But I mean, is what it is. So what you can do to be different, you know, like I've said, like prospects are information overload. We are all prospects for different stuff, right? It is information overload. We are like in a trance. Okay. So like with a little bit of effort, we can stand out from the crowd and really get noticed. So one way that we can do that is with postcards, right? And I mean, postcards get noticed. Honestly, I mean, you know, like mail, most people are looking forward to mail, right? So, you know, some of you also might be thinking like mail as a follow-up communication, like that's going to take more time. That's going to cost more money. Yeah, it will. All right. But isn't a great prospect worth your time and a little bit of money? So if you stand out from the crowd and show that you care, that prospect could earn you thousands of dollars in the future, right? And remember that people are really joining you, okay? They're looking for that guide. So this postcard solution is great. They're inexpensive to buy. They're inexpensive to mail. They're 20 cents less to mail than a letter, okay? The best part about it is that you're totally safe from any sort of rejection, right? So a picture is worth 1,000 words. Postcards, you know, can also have pictures that spark an emotional response, right? Like people love looking at pictures. So here we go. Oh, sorry, totally should put this back, right? Inexpensive to buy. So they're worth 1,000 words, okay? Like you want to spark an emotional reaction from your postcard. So what do you write on the postcard? Okay, so it's on sale or like offer a special promo. Number two, like it could be like, look, I'm at the convention, you know, and show a picture of you with like, you know, a couple hundred or whatever of your like followers or something like that. You know, you're on vacation, you know, you can, when you're on vacation, just pick up some postcards. Okay. And, you know, and fill them out on your journey home or whatever. Maybe a local attraction, right? So the next time you're there, you can just put a quick message in there that says like, I like this attraction. It reminded me to get back in contact with you. Hope you're doing well. It can also be one to like promote the products. So you can take fun pictures with the products and then get them printed. So like, for example, Vistaprint has such great rates, honestly, such great rates on getting postcards printed. So, you know, like really the message on the postcard can't be time sensitive, okay? And it doesn't have to be a full-blown like presentation or whatever. It's just a reason to stay in contact. Okay, so I wrote down some examples of some short messages. Okay, so we're enjoying our tax-deductible vacation here at the company convention. I always wanted to see new cities, and the family's excited to be here at the amusement park also. They just announced that next year's free vacation will be in Orlando. Thought of you and our conversation about someday visiting Disney World. See where these are going? Here's a couple more. Enjoying some quality time with the family. Finally built the business to be full-time, so now we have our weekends. That couple I told you about, John and Mary, are here vacationing with us at the park. They didn't join for the money. They just wanted a bit more quality time with the kids. Thinking of you while traveling today. Hopefully someday in the future will be a good time for you to join the business as there are many more trips planned. So, let's see. Okay, here's the other thing. Okay, follow-up is not just for the prospects, honey. Okay, the real magic is going to happen after the initial sale. Remember that you make more money when your customers reorder. So it's not just for prospects, it's also for people in your business. Okay. So, I talked at the beginning of this training about the 4 income producing activities, and we talked about follow-up as number 2. Number 3 is providing customer service. And this follow-up for customers is part of that customer service. All right. So here is how you're going to follow up with your customers. 1 week after the sale, you're going to call them up and you're going to use the FORM technique. FORM stands for family, occupation, recreation, and motivation. So that is a good way to get your, to build that rapport. Okay, so check and see how their family's doing. You're going to basically on that call make sure that they've received their products and they have a plan and know how to use it, right, for their desired problem. So 2 weeks after that first call that you make, so they place the order, a week later you made the call, 2 weeks later, then you're going to call them again. And you're going to check in on family, occupation, recreation, their motivations, okay? You're going to check on the product satisfaction and the effectiveness. What you're also going to do is make sure you ask about any new health goals or conditions that they might be experiencing. So we don't know from the time that they learn about the products until the time that you talk to them if there's any new health conditions that have popped up, which is also giving you the opportunity to help them with more products, okay? Or what's sometimes called as like an upsell. But the other thing that this follow-up call is going to do is you're going to ask them if they have told anyone about their experience with the product, told them about the new products that you're trying. So first, you're going to check and make sure that that they're satisfied with their product and that it's working. 2, you're going to make sure that if there's any new health conditions or any thing that they're experiencing that they might need a solution for. Number 3, you're going to ask them if they have talked to anyone about their experience with the product. This is going to see if they've started sharing. This is going to give you an idea if the business, they might already be doing the business and they're like, no, I'm just a customer. I just want the best discount. That's why I decided to be a partner. I just want the best discount. But now they're talking to their neighbor, their coworker, and their cousin. Happens all the time, guys. You will miss that opportunity if you don't follow up with your customers. You would never know that, right? Maybe their husband just started, or their wife just started having sleep issues. Maybe they got called in for an emergency parent-teacher conference because their kid isn't focusing. You wouldn't know that if you didn't call and follow up and provide that customer service that is what network marketing and direct sales is known for. So moving forward, after the initial sale, the 1 week call after that, the 2 weeks after that call, you're going to talk to them once a month moving forward, right? So you're going to do basically the exact same things, okay? You're going to continue to build the rapport in the relationship. You're going to make sure that they know how to reorder, because they basically have, and actually you technically should do that on the 2 week call, because these are 30-day products. So it's been 3 weeks. If they're using it according to the box, they're going to need to reorder before they run out. You're just going to make sure that they know how to place an order, because oftentimes they have no clue. They don't even know how to log into their account. So again, that's also on you to make sure that they know that and have that information. Then you're going to keep checking every time you talk to them. You're going to keep checking on how the products are working, their effectiveness, and if they've talked to new people. That is going to, and if any new health conditions have popped up, same thing. Okay. You're going to keep doing that over and over. The other, I forgot to put this on this slide, but the other thing that you're going to do is you're going to talk about any upcoming things from the company or big things, right? Like, when we won one of the top 50 healthcare companies in the world, that would be a reason to call everyone, period, right? That's what I'm saying. Okay. So I also want to talk about organizational methods for follow-up, because there is a age-old saying, I should have put this on the slides, the fortune is in the follow-up. I'm going to say it again for all the people in the back. The fortune is in the follow-up. If you aren't organized in your follow-up methods, you will fail. People are going to fall through the cracks. They're going to forget about you completely, right? Understand that 2% of sales, 2 out of every 100 people you talk to are going to join on the very first contact. 2%. 80% of sales are made from the 5th to 12th contact. 80%. So all y'all that are saying to yourself, oh, I've reached out and they're not answering. Oh, I have, talked to them. They, like they can't make a decision, like whatever it is. If it hasn't been between 5 and 12 times, you just can't stop. Sometimes it will take up to 21 times. 21 times of getting in front of somebody for them to say yes. Like, I have a list of over 50 prospects on my wall right now that are just sitting on the fence, okay? Because of timing, really. So I have to be organized in the way that I follow up with them. But understand something else. 48% of people will never follow up. Never. They will never follow up. That's almost 50% of people are never going to follow up on a contact. That is wild. I mean, I see so many people doing pop-up events and connect calls and view to sale events, and they get contacts on the phone. I'm on the phone with them and they never follow up with them. I mean, like, that's why I take notes on all your connect calls. So that way I can go back to you and say, oh, hey, Cindy, what happened with Catherine, right? Or, oh, hey, Dottie, what happened with Callie? Okay, so how are you going to do that? Here first. First option is a spiral notebook. This is what I recommend for people right off the bat, okay? I'm on like my 4th spiral notebook right now, okay? So you're gonna take a spiral notebook and you're gonna put all of your contact information in here, okay? And you can put right up at the top here, their name and all the notes about them, the dates that you talk to them, and you're gonna put all of their issues. Like, let's see, so Danielle, this was about Bob. So he was a referral from her aunt. She has cancer, melanoma, is in Miami, didn't watch the video or the PDFs. She needs energy, or he needs energy. He's 64 years old, like, send out samples. Then we had a call again, right? And I put down the date. This is going to be crucial to you. All right. If you're thinking to yourself, spiral notebooks are for kids in school, then maybe a Google Sheet is better for you. Right? If you think to yourself, man, I am never going to carry around a spiral notebook. I don't care how small or big, I'm just not going to do it. Then you need a Google Sheet, friend, okay? Or a Google document. So that means that you can access it anytime, anywhere, right from your phone. So some of you just want it all electronic based, and that's totally cool. 100% understand that, right? I want to be able to update my and have my notes everywhere. Okay, totally get it. So a Google Sheet will allow you to do that. Here's another way. Okay, I'm going to suggest for all the newbies watching this training that you start with a spiral notebook or a Google Sheet. Okay. Once your leads, prospects, customers, and partners get out of hand, you probably are going to want a better method than multiple spiral notebooks to go through. My favorite is a program called Team Z. Okay. I don't have a promo code. This is not a sponsored thing. It is an online CRM, customer relationship management tool. It is going to, it is basically built for relationship marketing. There's a 30-day free trial on there for you to go and check out. I absolutely love this. If you're just one of those people that you just want a system right from the get-go, they call it a power hour. Everything for your follow-up and prospecting, basically 3 out of the 4 income producing activities that you need to do every day can be done by Team Z. The only thing that can't be done by Team Z is your personal development. Okay, so the thing is though, bottom line, I want you to find an organizational method that is convenient and that you will actually use. Not one that's good because your best friend used that, not what's good because I suggested it. You figure out something that's going to work for you and stick with it. So, so I want to say thank you very much for spending this, time with my training and coaching and developing. I'm so thankful that you're here, and don't be a stranger. I'm always here to help. All right.